All right, what is going on, Discord family, and welcome back to another edition of Market Review with me, T. Hobbs. Today is, what is today? January 2nd, 2025. We into the new year, you know what I mean? New year, new me, whatever, all that good stuff, right? And the market, end of the month or beginning of the month, first of the year, like the market is really showing its tail today, right? I traded the Dow Jones, so I'll be going over the Dow Jones, right? If you guys want to do a market review on any other instrument, then just put it in the Discord as a request and I'll do it. Other than that, I'm just going to be focusing on the Dow Jones the majority of the year unless I trade something else, right? So market conditions on the day, we were in a markup phase, right? I talked about this level. I said, hey, as long as we stay above this swing low right here at 727, I want to remain bullish. Right, you can see we dropped below that. I mean, obviously, it's because the market was bringing the hammer. And as long as we stay below 43,289, which was this high here, right, I wanted to be a bear, right? When we woke up this morning, we were closer to the high, so I was looking to be short. When we got down here, we were closer to the low, hence the reason the demand zone here was the next key area. Macro, I was looking for bulls to defend a very key level. I said the bulls defended a very key level, rallying the market 500 points in the overnight session and creating a new dealing range to start 2025. I would still like to see them take out the swing high, right? Like, so I'm leaning toward being a bull, but I still need to see this high taken. If it doesn't get taken, it's back to going short, right? So I'm looking for longs on pullbacks in the New York session, which you'll see, the idea play out down here, right? But anyway, where was I looking to trade? Well, my extreme trades were if we continue rallying, which I thought was going to be ridiculous, then I'm looking to long as long as we can hold support above the end wall. We never got up there, so that extreme didn't work out. Or not say it didn't work out, it just didn't come up. And obviously, if that one didn't come up, this bearish extreme didn't come up, right? We were looking to short 624 through roughly about 742. Didn't have to worry about it. But the trades that we did have in the area all played out. And I repeat, all played out, okay? And I'll show you when we come down to the smaller time frame. But essentially what I was looking for was I was looking for just short, weak rallies into the 1 hour resistance at 43,190 through 43,289 and look to target the top of the range, right? Top of the range, as you can see here, was 42,928 through 42,859. The low of the range was 42,782 to 42,722. Now off the range, what I like to do is I like to short the highs, right? The top of the box, and long the lows at the bottom of the box. But when you look at this 4-hour candle, right? There wasn't really room to get long here. And if you did, they were going to be scalps, right? But lastly, my other plan was I was looking for buyers to defend 42,519 to 42,276. Which is this Trump candle, right? And we can look to long the market targeting the low of the range, which was 42,782 to 42,722. Well, you can see the market came in hot here at 463, right inside of our range, and then targeting the low of the range. That's exactly what the market did, right? I'm not doing this in hindsight. You guys know this. Everything that I do, an hour, 2 hours before the market opens, and I just try to make sure that I'm following that, right? So trades that I took on the day, if we come down to the 15-minute, and I actually took them on my TOPSTEPX account. So TOPSTEPX, I started the day inside of the London session, right? The wife and I were up pretty late, and it was like, I looked at the time and I was like, you know what? I got time to trade London, right? So first thing I did was I took two minis here at 43,051. Again, this was a FOMO trade, right? It was based off impulse. I saw an aggressive push down. I'm like, you know what? Let me just jump in. But I understood the assignment. The assignment was wait for 3 o'clock, 2:30, or this break of the low. If you want to get short, you want to get short after we break the low and see the market rallying up. Didn't listen to myself, so I cut it, felt guilty. Got back in, cut it. Then I said, nope, I'm getting in this because I'm very confident that we're going to go short. So I loaded 2 more contracts here after I cut this one, right? And then the market came back up and I set through some drawdown and I added 1 more contract. So I was in 3 contracts total, right? Risking about 600 $650, almost 700 bucks total, right? But then we came right to my price target. My price target was midnight. We went right there. I took off 2 contracts down here and then just trailed my stop. Then I went to bed. I woke up and obviously I got stopped out, right? So those were my trades overnight. So I came into the market with a little bit of a cushion, okay? But when I wrote my plan, I was looking for basically this same sequence, but I was looking for this sequence higher, right? So if we come over here, right, and we just look, all I do is I really watch, right, what we do from the last swing low, which in this case was 630 to roughly about 730, right? So from this last swing low to this swing high, what did we do after that? Well, this was the low, this was the high. The market took out this low, right? And it continued to dump through this low at the open. So I walked away, I made my plan. I said, I'm looking for 43,190. And where I'm looking to get short, right, is 50% of this previous high and previous low, which sits us at 43,192. You see that? Let me change it a different color so you guys can see it. I'm gonna put it in red here. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a phone call. What? So if you look here, this is 50% of this entire dealing range, right? So that's what I'm looking to trade, right? I'm looking to trade short off this 50% because I understand how the market moves, right? The market loves 50%, right? So now the market drops down, it changes character. It fails to make a new high. Now we're in consolidation. It makes a new high, but then it makes a new low. Therefore, now I know I got this red line here and I got this box right here, right? So once it breaks this low, it validates this high right here, right? So now all I'm saying is, all right, I want to see how the market reacts to this high up here. We know that the market likes to drop down low, right? And then sweep the high to create another dealing range. So now it comes down, right? I take shorts at 43,185. When I'm in one contract, right? I always trail my entries, right? I try to go for 100 handles minimum, but sometimes I get stopped out for 70 because that's just how mechanically I trail, right? So I got in at 185. I got up almost 70 points. I locked in 40. I got up 100 points. I locked in 70. I got stopped out for 72 at 43,114, right? Now, I was okay with that, right? Because as the market came down here, tapped my target was midnight. It hit it beautifully. I just wasn't in it, right? This is where I didn't go tilt, but I was very disappointed in this part of my trading session, right? So when the market came back up here, right? I saw it. I was just so like in capital protection mode. I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna just lock out. I'm straight. But as soon as we got this drop and this failure right here, this is where I should have been short. And guess what level that is? 43,189, or 1 point off of what my pre-market plan had in store for me. So the only thing that I was disappointed in myself in is I'm comfortable with the way that I traded here. But what I want to be able to do is I want to go back in, add a contract here. We come back up here and fail to take the high. I want to add another contract here. Now I'm in 2 contracts. Take one contract off at midnight, right? And then the other contract comes off at my target, which would have been the previous PM session lows, right? So those are my executions on the day. I did take other trades in other accounts, but this is the only account that I'm going to share with the Discord and or YouTube members, right? Like, or not members, but the YouTube channel. I just want to focus on the executions on this trade. I'm not going to go through all the accounts I took trades on, but this is the one that I'm going to focus on every single day, right? And then I took trades over on the Apex account, but again, I'm just going to focus on that one. I would have shown you these trades, but they just logged me out for whatever reason. But anyway, so going back to the pre-market plan, when we go over here, how do we look at the market? Well, I always look at the market from the eyes of liquidity. Like, where is the liquidity, right? Because that's what we're trading. We're trading the liquidity. If we look at Sydney, right? We look at Tokyo, we look at London. Sydney brought the low, London brought the high, right? Now you could argue, you could be like, well, London's low is right here. It's like, yeah, but where did it stop, right? Like, it stopped here, right? So once the market takes out London's lows and still doesn't come back up for air, problem, right? And that's why I ended up taking shorts over here, right? So if we understand where the liquidity is, and we're in a bearish market overall, right? If we go zoom out, right? Let's turn off the liquidity and we just zoom out to the daily and the weekly. And we just turn everything off. We just ask ourselves, what direction is the market going in? right now. It's been bullish all year. But right now, this motherfucker is bearish, period, right? So if that's the case, if I wake up in the morning, right, and I see the market, right, regardless, you can take everything off. If I just wake up in the morning and I see the market doing this shit, and we're already up 500 points, there is no scenario, right? I want to make this clear. There is a 0% chance that Hobbs is looking for longs up here. 0. Why? Because it just doesn't make sense. And if the market wants to do something that doesn't make sense, I'm just not going to participate. If you guys remember, if you recall back when the market was very, very bullish, we would get shit like this. And guess what? The market would continue to rally another 200-300 points. And I said, nope, I am not getting into that mindset, because remember, the market's always thinking in the future. It was showing you that shit, showing you that type of stuff, so that everybody and their mother would now be having recency bias. And guess what? Instead of looking for what you should be looking for, which is shorting the market up here, I guarantee people got smoked trying to long this market, thinking, oh, the bulls are back in town, it's time to go back long. And they're gonna be doing this the whole way down, okay? The whole way up, everybody was trying to short the market. Now, we're coming down, everybody's gonna try to long this shit. Just ride the trend. That would be my best advice to you. Do whatever you want, but my advice would be ride the trend. And it's a strong downtrend, very strong. I mean, this is a 700, almost 800 point day on the Dow Jones. And I have been praying for these days to return, right? Because the volatility increases the percentage in which the market goes up or down. So that's why I'm happy about it. So let's go down to time, right? Because I always follow time and price, right? Time, structure, price, where, when, why, right? We follow all of that shit, right? So we come up into 929.30. I'm gonna tell you why I took this trade. It's what I've been practicing my entire time on Dow Jones. I have back tested this trade more times than I care to mention, right? But anytime I'm looking to trade, it's gonna be inside of 930, unless I don't get what I want. There's only a couple scenarios in which I don't get what I want, and it's very rare, right? So all I'm looking for is, one, what's the overall trend? And we just talked about that. The overall trend is down, okay? So if I want to get long or short inside of 930, if I'm looking to get short, which direction do I need 930 to go? I need it to go up. Because if I want to get short, I need the market to come up so I can go down, period. All I waited on was 930, right? I said, hey guys, there's a 43,190 resistance. That's what I'm looking to short. The market came down, it popped right up, and I said, thank you very much. I appreciate you. I got short on the other side at 185, stops above the highs up here. My stops were up here. I moved them down with price, right? And if I would have just kept my stop up here, I could have added here, and man, this could have been a beautiful trade. I'm gonna definitely work on this. It's something that I really want to work on. But anyway, market comes down, breaks through structure again. Remember, we have to go and announce the trend. We trade up into the 950 macro. If you've been rocking with me long enough, you know, very, very bearish. We take the high, but not for real. Change of order flow, break of structure, trading down into 1010, only for 1010 to bring us up, but not breaking structure. That's ball game. How many times did we touch 190? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You get the point, right? The pre-market plan said look to short 43,190 through roughly about 43,292. I came on here and said, hey, I'm looking for shorts at 43,190. Then I said, hey, I'm short 43,185. So if you was longing up here, you was just being hard-headed, right? Or you just don't value my opinion whatsoever. That's all I can tell you. Anyway, the market comes down. We trade down into 1025, which lets me know that there's an opportunity for a long. I took the long, right? I took the longs, right? I got long 42,887. 42,887 was where I took longs, which is right here in this cluster. Where was my stop? My stop was all the way back here at 42,860, right? Because my thought process was, as long as this low holds, right? This was the last low we put in. As long as this low holds, I originally got stopped out. I'm sorry. I took longs here first and I got stopped out. I was down like 600 bucks, right? I took the next long, got it all back, took profit at the high, got stopped out on the runner, done, right? Moved on to a different account, right? Market continued to trade down in the 1050. I walked away from the Discord at this point, but I was still watching the market, right? Because now we're getting the same exact setup, guys. Like, look, market announces range. Market sweeps the high. Market trades down, okay? Market consolidates. Market announces range. Market sweeps down, announces range, comes back up, failure to take the high, but instead we get a triple top. Oh my goodness. Where does this triple top look familiar? Watch this. Whatever the market does on a lower time frame, it definitely does on a higher time frame, okay? So let's remember that triple top, and let's go over to the 4 hour, okay? 1, 2, 3, bingo. The market did the same thing on the 1 minute. It gave the same exact structure on the 1 minute that it was developing on the 4 hour over a much longer period of time, right? Certain things you just gotta watch for, and you'll start to see them over time. But you gotta put it in that screen time and experience, right? You gotta put it in, right? But anyway, we continue to trade down on 1050. Where's my 1037 candle? 1037 was right here. Yeah. So 1037, I like to mark out that candle specifically on the Dow Jones. And I just like to see how price reacts to it, because a lot of time what I've noticed just through back testing or whatever, I've noticed that the 1037 candle is kind of like my afternoon gauge, right? It kind of tells me what price is going to do, right? Off that candle, it gives me a good idea where I want to go short. This red box represents the 1037 candle. Look at what we did. We tried to push above it, failure, failure, drop. We got back up to it, failure, 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 drop. We never traded back above the 1037 candle. It's a little trick that I've been using. It's been helping me out a lot, especially with my afternoon trades. If you don't believe me, go back test it yourself and you'll believe me then. Trust when I tell you that, okay? Market trades up into 1125 only to balance out. I took shorts on the the Apex accounts, 300Ks. So this one was funny because I took shorts. I think I got short inside of the top of the PM session. So I was following my pre-market plan, right? But I was getting so frustrated with the shorts. I was on the phone with Malik and I realized, like, man, I don't even trade the 11 o'clock hour. I normally fade this whole hour and just wait for 12:30 or 12:15, somewhere around there, right? So I'm in this trade. The trade starts coming up against me. I get so frustrated. I said, fuck it, I'm out, right? I cut it for like, I don't know, 10-point loss or something like that. But then I stuck around with it. It finally balanced out. And then on this push up right here, I got short 42,939 or something like that. 42,9, yeah, 40, somewhere in here. Right here, I got short. My target was 42,394, right? Because I was just looking at the overall structure of the market. I ended up getting out once I realized I was up 300 points on 3 minis. I was like, I don't need no more points than that. Like, I'm good. That's literally the only reason why I cut it. I was like 300 handles. Like, I'm just getting greedy at that point. And I could have held it down to 462, which wouldn't have been my target. But I mean, that would have been another 400 or 500 points. But I was just like, I'm good. But ultimately, the market comes down here inside of this 110, 140. And I talked about this earlier in the day. I said, guys, for the last 3 days, this is another thing I've been noticing. PM session low ends up being the high for the next day. If you go back and look at it, every single day for the last 3 days, they brought price back to PM session low, right? Or yeah, PM session low from the day before, right? Great opportunity to get long. I was busy, so I wasn't really looking at it, but great opportunity to get long. Right up to 722 would have probably been my target. And the market just, it chopped its way up there, but it got up there, right? Ultimately, I'm looking for the same exact type of setup going into tomorrow. I'm looking for the PM session high, the PM session low to act as a range for Tokyo, Sydney, and then maybe London comes back up, takes out these highs, brings the high of the day, and then we look to short or however they want to deliver the price. Until we take out a swing high on a higher time frame, the market will continue to be bearish. I do not give a shit how much buying they do, right? Until they get back above one of these swings, right, on a higher time frame, the market will continue to remain bearish. Thus far, the newest swing, the newest dealing range is all the way back up here at 43,000. So right now, in my brain, going into tomorrow, as long as we're below this swing, we're bearish. That's all I got, guys. I really hope that these market reviews are helping. Again, no more NQ, ES, all that. It's all about YM for me in 2025, right? Do I trade those other instruments? Yes, I do. But in regards to how I'm focusing my strategy and my patience and all of my energy is being 100% focused on YM. So if you guys want me to do a market review on NQ, all you have to do is ask, right? I will, accommodate you. But for the most part, I'm just going to focus on YM in regards to the market reviews. That being said, my name is T Hobbs. This is the market review. I'll catch you guys on the next one, man. Peace.